Hey guys, today we're going to be checking out the MInaal Carry On 3.0. And MInaal's travel backpacks have been some of the most popular one-bag travel options over the past couple of years. I had a chance to test out the previous version of this a while back, and in this video I'm going to be talking about some of the updates that have been made with the 3.0 version. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other travel bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, I want to thank the company for sending the bag for me to test out. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the outside of the bag, I really like the overall aesthetic. MInaal's bags are well known for their simple, minimal vibe, very clean exterior, not a lot of straps, attachment points. It's a bag that doesn't call a lot of attention to itself, which is really nice when you're traveling so you don't stand out a lot or look like a tourist. And it's also a clean enough look that it's gonna work well for, walking around a more urban environment or even taking into an office if you happen to be traveling for work. As far as the materials, the bag feels very solidly built. Like we talked about in our review of the Daily Bag 3.0, this uses a 600D Picton fabric that's made out of recycled yarn and is meant to be more tear-proof and weather resistant than the fabric that was used on the previous version of the bag. It also has 1200D Picton fabric in more high abrasion areas, so very reliable. One of the things that I've been most impressed about with both of the bags is how well they managed to avoid picking up dust and pet hair, so it stays pretty clean. This bag I've been using, I didn't clean it off before the video or anything like that, and it looks great, and when I do get some things on it, it cleans off pretty easily. So if you're somebody who really wants to keep their bag looking a little bit neater, then this is a big bonus for this fabric. And in addition to offering some built-in weather resistance, one of the nice things about MInaal's bags is that they actually include a removable rain cover. It's stored on a pocket on the bottom of the bag, which is a really nice sort of additional feature to have if you're traveling somewhere where there's more likely to be some sort of a downpour. You can take it out and really protect your bag a lot better than it would be without it. And then beyond that, you have, of course, Woojin buckles and hardware and some nice YKK zippers all throughout. And you do have the ability to lock the zippers for the main compartment and the laptop and tech area that we'll take a look at later in the video. And then even with the rugged materials, features, and size of the bag, I was pretty impressed with the weight. It comes in at just over 3 pounds, which is lighter than many of the other bags in this category. So if you're going on airlines that are a little bit stricter, that's definitely gonna be a nice thing to keep in mind. Continuing along the outside of the bag, I was happy to see that there is still an external water bottle pocket. This has been improved from the previous version. The bottom is a little bit more elasticated, so it's going to accommodate bottles of a variety of sizes. Currently what I have here is the same 20-ounce water bottle that you've seen in a lot of my other daily and travel bag videos. And one of the nice things about these pockets is that even though it's a little bit shallower than some of the other ones that I've seen on travel bags, it does have this bungee cord that can allow you to secure the bottle to prevent it from accidentally slipping out, or to secure something else that you might want to store here, like an umbrella or maybe a tripod. And then that just kind of tucks away when it's not in use. And above that, you also have an additional compression strap. It has this sort of metallic or aluminum G-hook here. Very easy to release this when needed. Again, you can use this to secure something that's taller, compress the bag down. And then next to that, you also have a carrying handle that has a nice seatbelt-like material, very well padded and comfortable to hold even when the bag is a little bit more packed out. And you have a handle at the top as well. Similar material to the one on the side, maybe just slightly thinner, but feels durable, doesn't feel like it's gonna tear, and it's gonna be great for just kind of picking the bag up or placing it into an overhead storage compartment. On the other side of the bag, you have an additional compression strap. Again, might be a good spot to hold something that doesn't fit on the inside. No water bottle pocket on this area of the bag. But one of the interesting things about this is that you have 2 loops here. So you can actually expand this out and hook it into the secondary loop, and it will give you just a little bit more security on the zipper if you don't want to open it up fully clamshell. Moving into the capacity, the bag comes in at about 35 liters, which is kind of my ideal size for one bag travel as far as offering enough space to hold everything that I want to take with me while still being pretty safe to carry on to a variety of domestic and international airlines. And I like that this bag doesn't have a super rigid structure, so it just molds around everything that you place on the inside, which also helps it keep a slimmer profile. It's not a small bag, but when it's loaded out, it still doesn't stick out awkwardly, which is gonna make it great not only for carrying onto a lot of airlines, but also for navigating crowded cities and jumping onto public transit. Taking a look at the straps and the back paneling, so far the bag has been really comfortable to wear. The harness system has been updated quite a bit here from the previous version, so it's using a new EVA foam that feels a little bit more robust. It's pretty comfortable right out of the box. It feels like it's gonna offer a nice amount of support. On the inside, you don't have spacer mesh or anything like that, but this is a soft, comfortable material. I haven't noticed any issues with moisture building up. The straps also have a nice width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. And then you also have load lifters that are going to allow you to really kind of tweak how the bag sits on your shoulders and to pull the weight closer to you to make it a little bit easier to carry. It has these magnetic buckles that attach when you want to use the load lifters, but you can release them to make it easier to hide the straps away when you don't want to use them. And then a nice little bonus that MInaal has included on one of the straps is that they've actually listed off the dimensions of the bag if you happen to get questions from any of the airline attendants. On the straps, you also have an adjustable sternum strap to help distribute the weight, which has a safety whistle. And a nice touch here is that there's this buckle on the right strap that you can use to attach the end of the sternum strap when it's not in use so that it's not flapping around and making the bag look a little bit messier. As far as the back paneling, this has also been pretty comfortable. You have well distributed padding all throughout. This has been redesigned from the previous version. Really nice single piece of foam here that has indented air channels, so it's not going to have the breathability of spacer mesh per se. On MInaal's site, they say that that gives more of an outdoorsy look for a bag, not quite as appropriate for an office setting, so a bit of a trade-off there, but you do have these indentations to give you some airflow and ventilation while you're walking around. And then at the bottom of the bag, you do have some attachment points if you want to add a waist strap, which is sold separately. It's not typically something that I use a ton, but great that you have the ability to add one if you want to. And then if you actually want to hide the straps away to, either make it easier to stow the bag away in an overhead storage compartment, you have this zippered flap that you can roll up and tuck away when it's not in use, but then to hide the straps away, you just bring it down. You can zip everything up and you have a much cleaner appearance. MInaal, I believe, also sells a shoulder strap that you can pair with some loops here if you prefer to use your carry-ons as a shoulder bag, or if you're traveling with the daily bag, it might be easier to kind of wear that one and then use this as a shoulder bag. So nice to have the flexibility there. And then another new addition on the 3.0 from the 2.0 is this hidden zippered compartment on the back, which is going to be a good spot to store something a little more sensitive when you're traveling. It's going to make it harder for pickpockets to access. This is where I would typically store maybe a passport or something like a wallet, and I currently have my Air card holder here. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag keeps things pretty simple, but the pockets that it does offer are pretty intuitive and spacious. On the front here, there's nothing as far as quick access pockets, which I know a lot of people don't really use those, but it feels like maybe there's some space that could have been leveraged here. Maybe it could be more of a personal nitpick. And then at the top, you have two quick access pockets. Starting off at the front, this is the area for the items that I would access the most often while traveling. Really like the amount of space that's offered here. Even with what I currently have here, there's still some leftover capacity. Jumping in, I have just a portable battery that I use to charge my phone. I have my sunglasses with their case. And then I also have a lightning cable with a power brick to charge my phone while I'm on the go. So nice amount of capacity. And on the inside, you also have a smaller zippered mesh compartment on this side of the pocket. So it's going to be great for organizing some of those smaller items that you don't want getting lost in this larger space. I use this mainly to store my tech essentials. So I have a pair of AirPods in here, and then I also have a set of wired headphones, which I always like to have with me for the flight. I tossed in an AirTag because that's something that I have with my travel backpacks nowadays. And then there's also a little lanyard with a plastic clip that's going to be a good spot for your keys or a multi-tool like the Gerber Shard, which is also TSA approved. Above that, you have another zippered quick access pocket, and I was really impressed at how independent the volume between these two sections actually is. I was able to use each one comfortably, and again, here you can see that there's some leftover space even though I've placed quite a few items in here. So just jumping in, I have my GoPro in here, I have a little manicure set that I typically carry with me, an Anchor wall adapter with multiple ports to charge my laptop, tablet, phone. I have an Apple Magic Mouse, and then I also have the Tom Bin Ghostwell pouch that I typically carry with some just dongles and smaller tech accessories. And so just a big sort of open space here, lots of volume. Might also be a good spot for some toiletries, a smaller jacket, some gloves. So really like the flexibility that both of these compartments provide. The next area we're going to be taking a look at is the laptop and tech compartment. And as I talked about in my review for the MInaal Daily Bag, this is one of the best laptop protection systems that's currently on the market, in my opinion. And so you do have the ability to open this compartment fully flat, so you have visibility into the compartment. You can grab whatever you need. I'll start with more of the admin and organizational area, which is a little bit different on this bag than it was on the Daily Bag. You still have this sort of larger slip pocket that's secured with a buckle, which will be a good spot to store maybe a magazine, some folders. You could probably place a notebook in here. I didn't really use it for anything because my space is starting to get a little bit tight since I put a lot into the main area. You also have an internal slip pocket here, which could be a good spot for a mouse, a hard drive, a portable battery, some cables, just sort of tech items that you want to have. It's a little bit different than the Daily Bag, which had some slots on the front of this sleeve. And so I think either implementation can work well, but in this case, because I have so much stuff, I'm just trying to not put too much in this area. And then you have a smaller zippered pocket at the top, which was not present on the Daily Bag. And this is a great spot for smaller EDC and tech items. So what I currently have here is a USB-C cable. I also have the Ridge bolt action pen, and I have a little dongle that I use to attach an HDMI cable to my phone. And then taking a look at the dedicated tablet and laptop sleeves, very interesting and protective system. The devices are fully suspended off the bottom of the ground and off the side, so it's just nicely kind of held securely in the middle. You have the ability to access your devices from both the side if you're carrying this like a briefcase or a shoulder bag, and then from the top if you just want to reach in and grab it quickly while you're actually on your flight or while going through TSA. So really love the flexibility there. You also have the ability to adjust this to a variety of device sizes. So nice amount of adjustability on both sides. And then the sleeves themselves are actually made with this nice sort of gel-like material. So even though it's not fleece lined per se, it does feel like your devices are going to be protected from scratches and shocks and bumps and things like that. It's not quite as rigid or thick as some other laptop sleeves, but it's a good trade-off as far as weight, space, and then because everything is so well suspended, you still feel like everything is going to be fine while you're carrying it. And so plenty of space here for a 10 or an 11-inch tablet. Currently what I have here is an iPad mini, which fits in there very easily. And then I have my 13-inch MacBook Air, which also fits in comfortably. You can fit a 15 or 16-inch laptop and adjust the straps as needed. Very easy to get the device out from the side or the top. Now the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside, and this does come up a decent amount. So if you happen to have a thicker device or you want to use a case with your laptop or your tablet, you're going to be able to do so easily. So just a really great implementation here. Definitely feels like your devices are going to be very safe. I believe this system may be patented, which might be why we don't see it on bags besides MInaal. So if you want something that's going to give you quick access and peace of mind, this is going to be a huge selling point for the bag. And then moving into the main compartment, the bag does have a full clamshell style opening. The system is interesting here in that it seems to work a little bit better if you place the bag face down, as this is meant to be sort of a bucket that you can pack out very easily. And as mentioned earlier, I really like the flexibility of this front section, as it just always feels like I can squeeze a little bit more stuff into a bag that's flexible like this one. And so I'll go ahead and open it up as intended, face down, and then You have this large open area here on the front, which pairs well with MInaal's ecosystem of accessories. Again, at 35 liters, this can hold quite a bit. This is actually one of the more spacious 35-liter bags that I've used. I mean, I put some extra stuff in here that I might not even normally carry, just to kind of showcase what the capacity is. Diving in, I have the smaller Peak Design compressible packing cube that has some socks, underwear, t-shirts. I also have an additional pair of shoes. These are some Toms that I always have with me. I tossed in a packable rain jacket. I have my DJI Mavic Mini with its hard shell case, as well as my Beats Studio wireless headphones, which I don't always take when I'm traveling with one bag, as it can take up quite a bit of space. And then I have my larger compressible packing cube from Peak Design, which has my pants and shirts and other larger clothing items. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better sense of the amount of space that's offered here. Pretty simple layout overall, no compression straps or additional pocketing on this side. You can start to get a sense of the amount of space that the top quick access pockets would take. If you have the rain cover packed in, you might also have a bulge here in the middle, but pretty simple overall. And then on the other side, you have some built-in zippered pockets that are going to give you some extra organization. And these do have a pretty impressive amount of volume. You can see that they come up quite a bit, so they almost work as built-in packing cubes if you would want to use them that way. They are also meant to pair with some of the pouches that MInaal sells. They have a tech pouch and probably a toiletry bag that can fit in here. I didn't end up using this bottom one because of the other pouches that I had already packed out, but I was really impressed with the volume and the potential of using this for organizing other stuff or reducing the amount of pouches that I might have to bring. This one doesn't have any sort of mesh on the bottom, so good for anything that's a little more sensitive. And then at the top, another pretty similarly sized compartment. Actually, it seems to be a little bit taller, so you can kind of see the difference here, but plenty of space, similar volume. I was actually able to fit my Air Dot kit, which is the one that I tend to use most often. And even with that inside of there's some leftover space at the top if I have a separate liquids bag, or if I wanted to have tossed my jacket in there, probably would have fit in there comfortably. So again, just really like the amount of volume that are present in all of the different pockets that MInaal has in the bags, which makes them much more functional. And then if you don't really want to leverage them, you have your own packing style. They just kind of stay out of the way. They don't take up a ton of space or add a lot of weight. And you can just not use them. On the inside, you also have some loops that are meant to pair with some of the other accessories that MInaal shares. I believe that they have one of those shirt organizers that keeps your dress shirt from getting wrinkled. You can attach them here so it's not floating around. So really nice, simple layout here that offers an impressive amount of space for a 35-liter bag. I feel like I was able to fit more than other bags of a similar size just due to the flexible nature and the simple layout. And if you're looking for a durable, spacious, reliable travel bag that's going to help you save a little bit on weight and that's going to have great protection for your devices, and this is going to be one of the best options that you can check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the MInaal Carry On 3.0 over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on the company site for about $350, so definitely premium pricing as far as travel backpacks go. You do get a very well-built bag with a nice feature set and capacity, and it's also going to hold up well against other bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the Air Travel Pack 3. Air's travel bags have been some of my favorites over the past couple of years, and with the third version, they updated the harness system, added some new organizational options, improved the laptop compartment while maintaining the really modern and sleek aesthetic that Air is well known for. The bag is very high quality as far as its materials. It can hold a ton of stuff, it's comfortable to wear, and is going to be a good alternative to this if you're looking for something with a more modern aesthetic, and it's also going to give you some additional organizational options. So if you want something reliable in a similar price range, then that's going to be one of the best options to check out. The next bag this made me think of is the Tortuga 40-liter travel backpack that was released pretty recently. That is another very high quality bag. Tortuga has some of the most comfortable harness systems on the market, and their latest bag is no different. Very easy to wear that for a longer period of time. It is a bigger bag at 40 liters. It can hold slightly more than this. The harness system on that is also highly adjustable, which is really nice if you're very particular about how the bag fits on you. It's got a very weather resistant exterior, a nice organizational layout, good laptop protection. The layout on that is going to be a little bit different than this, and as far as the pockets that it offers, but both very solidly built bags. If you're looking for something that maybe has a little bit more built-in weather resistance as opposed to using a rain cover like the MInaal, or you're just looking for a little bit more space and a more robust harness, and that's going to be a great alternative to take a look at. Another bag this made me think of is the Evergood CTB35, which is one of the more similar bags to this aesthetically. It has a really minimal, understated look. It also comes in at 35 liters. That bag has Evergood's well-known harness system with their new breathable back panel, so it's very comfortable to wear. It has an integrated waist belt, clamshell style opening, and one of the best organizational layouts of any travel bag that I've seen. It's just really intuitive how all the pockets are laid out, volume independent, so you can really take advantage of everything. 2 external water bottle compartments, handles, so just a very versatile bag overall. And if you're looking for something with this type of an aesthetic and size that's going to have some nice bonuses, like the integrated waist belt, and that's going to be a fantastic option to take a look at. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the GoRuck GR2, and there's quite a few options as far as the GR2 nowadays. You have Heritage Editions, a Slick Edition, you have a 34 liter size, a 40 liter size, so it's nice that there's a few different options that you can pick from. If you get one of the GR2s that has MOLLE webbing, you can configure it with pouches or attach items with carabiners. And one of the coolest things about the GR2 is the dual clamshell organizational layout. It just gives you some additional space and flexibility. That bag also has just some nice zippered pocketing all throughout, the bomb-proof laptop compartment, very rugged build. Comes in at a similar sort of premium price point to this. You can get some versions that are made in the USA, so if that's something that's important to you, or if you prefer something with a more tactical or heritage vibe and some extra organization, then that's going to be a good option to consider as well. With that being said, the MInaal Carry On 3.0 holds up pretty well against all those options, and if you're looking for a minimal, reliable, and spacious one bag travel option, this is going to be a really solid bag to check out. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the updates that have been made on the 3.0 carry-on bag and how it compares to some of the other similar travel bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company again for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.